It is time for the 2026 season. It is time for the champs, the Philadelphia Phillies, to defend their crown. We're at opening day, April 2nd, 2026. The Phillies predicted to win a league best 110 games, 9 games better than the Dodgers, 20 games better than the third place Nats. Padres also predicted to win the playoffs. You might see the San Antonio Emperors are here, predicted to go 82-80 and finish in 5th place. The Emperors are the Miami Marlins. They relocated, and so welcome to Miami. The Honolulu Pacifics are predicted to go 71-91. Not the worst team in the NL. The Reds are predicted to be worse. And on the AL side of things, the Pickles are predicted to be the worst team at 68 wins. And let's see. The Phillies, 940 runs. The next best is 891 from the Nats. Our ERA of 3.63. Only one other team under 4. And that's the Dodgers at 3.82, 642 runs against. And Soto predicted to be one of the top hitters. Cornelius Randolph, Jung-Hoo Lee, all there. Barrios and Nola and Sheffield on the pitching side of things. So looking pretty good for the Phils here. Playoff teams in the AL predicted to be the Red Sox, Mariners, Angels, and Rangers, with the Rays and A's knocking on the door. Oh, and look at the Orioles, 84 wins. And so, yeah, that's we'll see if the Jays can outproduce their expectations here. 72 wins predicted. I think last time they were predicted that we noticed this a couple seasons ago, maybe they ended up being one of the better teams, primarily because of a great record in one-run games. So, what should we get into first? Let's go to the team. So lineups. You will see not a lot unexpected here. We've got Drew Romo, the heir apparent to JT Realmuto, number 61 prospect in baseball. Did not have a very good season in AAA, and wasn't very good in AA for half a season after he ripped up high A. So hopefully his battle play, his leader, work ethic, but he's here for his catcher abilities at 75. Welcome to the big leagues, JT Realmuto. He'll be backed up by Austin Hedges, who I did bring back. That 80 catcher ability, 75 arm, captain, and he's on a 2-year deal. He's making $1 million this year. Next year, it's a vesting option for $1.4 million, requiring him to play in 100 games, which he won't do. So, I mean, I guess he could, but I would be shocked. Other than that, nothing has changed in the starting lineup. Randolph, Stott, Machado, Adames in the last year of his deal, Soto, Pache, Harper, Lee. Backup-wise, it is a little different. We brought in Austin Slater to be the right-handed bat off our bench. He won a Gold Glove in left field last year. He played in Arizona, put up 1.64 and 89 WRC+. And he's been, an average-ish player. But he's a right-handed bat who hits lefties well. He can play first, second, left, center, right when needed. And I have a lot of lefties, so he will platoon some, not platoon, but he'll play some behind Stott at second base. Also, backup infielder is it's time for Nasim Nunez to be introduced to the major leagues. Nasim is a guy that we got from the Marlins in November of 2024 in a trade when we brought him in because I wanted more infield depth, guys with really good range, arm, etc. He played last year in AAA for us and put up a 95 WRC plus in 421 plate appearances. So he will be back up. We'll see how much he plays. And then also making the club is Rock Riggio, who got some time up with us last year. Got 96 plate appearances and 88 WRC plus. He's a lefty bat, which I don't love because I had two of my 3 starting outfitters as well as my starting DH are lefties, but I like Riggio. It's time to give him a chance. He's 23. He's got good work ethic. He'll probably play, let's see, I've got him playing once a week at DH, every 12 days in right field. So, he's going to play, 6 games a month? But then he'll come in when Pache's tired, when Soto's tired. So maybe 8 games a month. Yeah. So, I would guess he'll play 50 games. Maybe he'll get 150 to 200 plate appearances, unless somebody gets hurt, and then he'll play a lot more. But that is the offense. Pretty similar. It's the best offense. We do have a new hitting coach because my old hitting coach didn't want to come back, so he's gone. Pitching, you will see we did not add a big name here to the rotation. Remember, off-season planning, there were a couple trades for Mackenzie Gore and Trevor Rogers I was thinking about doing. Basically, I decided not to do it. I decided that I wanted to give the shot to some internal options. Gunnar Mayer is going to get the first shot. He put up 1.4 WAR and 2 RWAR in 63 innings last year out of the pen. The only thing that's kind of plagued him is home runs, which is because he's a fly ball pitcher with below average movement, which I shy away from those kind of guys in the park that I'm in. And he's given up 1.4 home runs per 9 out of the bullpen. So it might not work out for him, but hopefully it will. But we've got Nola, Barrios, Segovia, Sheffield back. Really solid top 4. And then Gunnar Mayer. And Mason Fox is back in the stopper role. Zach Pop back in the setup role. Taylor Hearn, who was the top lefty on the market, and we really needed some lefty, some addition of a lefty. 2023 All-Star. We signed him to a 2-year deal at $9.5 million per year. However, the second year is a team option with a $1 million buyout. So I'm pretty happy with bringing him in. Aaron Bummers here is a lefty. Yolvis Guedes making the jump from AA, where he pitched 2 years in a row and put up 2+ WAR each year. I mean, he's just a pretty dominant pitcher at AA. If I had been controlling him, I obviously would have had him in AAA last year. Ground ball pitcher, a guy I signed 5 years ago when he was like 20, when he was just a free agent, and he was a 20 overall. But seeing this stuff and this movement, but then he just kept getting better and better, and his velocity went from 91 to 93 to 95 to 97, and he's now in our bullpen. So hopefully Yolvis can become a clutch guy for us. Andrew Schultz is back. Burl Caraway is back. And then Mick Abel, real-life Phillies prospect, worked his way up. There was a point in my sim where I didn't think that he was going to make it for me. 22 was a really bad year for him. 23 was a lost year because of injury, but then he got it back on track. 24 and 25, good seasons in AA, and then AAA is the number 100 prospect in baseball. Is 24. He will get some time as our long man. He's probably our first option if Mayer, doesn't do well, or if somebody gets hurt. I would say Mick Abel's probably going to come in, but I can also go and get somebody else, right? Like I can go make a midseason trade. And let me just show you another reason why I didn't bring in an outside option for pitchers, because I have so many guys coming. I've got all of these guys. You can see between AA and AAA I have 9 prospects in the top 227 prospects in baseball that are pitchers. So we'll get into some of these guys more at the prospect video at midseason, but Will Karsten, Kyle Mott, Carter Daniels, Luke Ellis, Drew Gray, Jason Diaz, all these guys are guys I've showed you. Hector Davila, I'll get into in a minute. We traded for him. We'll get into those trades. So I just have so many internal options coming, and now none of them are awesome, but Castaneda will be back next season. And I don't know. I just think it's more fun to bring up guys from the minors than go out and trade for like the best pitcher I can every offseason. So that's what I'm going to do. The team isn't as good as I could have made it if I'd handled it differently, but that's how I handled it, and that's what we're going to do. So let's look at the transaction log. Let's go back. Just to recap the trades we made. There's October, November 2025. Let's see, were any of our trades here? Yes, so we did trade Zach Littell, who won the best reliever in baseball. He went to the Dodgers. He's a free agent after the season. Now, I think if you want to continually have your team get younger and cheaper, you want to make moves like this throughout your sim with a lot of players. That is, trade them before they become free agents and before their contracts get too expensive. I don't feel the need to do that with the Phillies because I have a huge payroll and I have a good farm system. Now, if you're like the Rays or something, you have a very limited payroll. You got to have that roster churn kind of over and over. Just trade guys, even like the Rays do in real life, right? Like they traded Blake Snell for younger, cheaper players. How many other guys have they done that with? Chris Archer, they did it with. And, the Rays just kind of do that. And I think it's a smart thing when running a team to do that, but I just don't feel the need to do it fully with the Phillies. Like, I don't really need to lean into it, but I will do it sometimes. Like Zach Littell, I felt like he was getting expensive. I felt like I had enough right-handed relievers, and the trade market for him was really strong. I was able to go out and get a guy who is my top pitching prospect now. Now he's 25. Hector Davila is his name. He's a number 89 prospect in baseball. I'm forgetting how the Dodgers signed him. Oh, he just like came on the scene as a free agent like last September out of whatever league this is. Let's see, what league did he come from? LMB. I'm sure one of you guys will be able to tell me. I think that's a Mexican league though that he came out of. And so he's my top pitching prospect. He hardly pitched for the Dodgers last year. He pitched in high A and then double A. And I'm going to start him in double A and see how he does. You can see compared to double A, I believe we're northeast, I think. He's still above average pitcher, but he hasn't pitched much in pro ball. So we'll see how he does. His nickname is Clueless, I just noted, but yet he's got high intelligence. So maybe it's like an ironic thing. So he's now our top pitching prospect. So we got Hector Davila, and then we also got Jake Hardy, who is a much younger arm, 22, has not pitched yet because he was a 2025 draft pick in the second round, 72nd overall, and we got him. But he signed so late. He signed in September after all the minor league seasons were over. So even though he's 22, since he hasn't pitched down there, I think I'm going to start him in rookie ball. Maybe I'll put him in low A. But yeah, I mean, he's only a 30 overall, below average stuff, below average movement, bad control. Only one pitch that is is even average. So yeah, I think I'm honestly going to start him in rookie ball. He's a little old for that, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So feeling pretty good about that trade. The fact that I got a guy who's a top 100 prospect, now my top pitching prospect, and then another guy who is so young and he was a high draft pick. I'm looking, looking forward to these two guys coming on the scene. And this, is just pitching depth that allows me to not have to go out and add Trevor Rogers or Mackenzie Gore. And let's see, Joe Eaton we got. We traded Beck Way, who was a guy who had been in our bullpen and been pretty solid, but I shied away from him because of the fly ball and the below average movement for the same reasons Gunnar Mayer concerns me. But I got this guy, 23-year-old Joe Eaton, who is he's a reliever because he's only got 2 pitches, but pretty decent stuff. He's 23. He's in rookie ball. I will probably bump him up to, I would imagine see, this guy's ready for low A at 23. He did not pitch last year either because he didn't sign until September. But he was a 4th round pick of the Diamondbacks, and we've now got him. I think he could be a good reliever for us coming up. Let's go ahead and bump him up to Class A Clearwater. There we go. So that's another trade that we made. Reggie Lawson is gone. We designated him for an assignment. He accepted assignment to Lehigh Valley AAA, but then he got nabbed in the Rule 5 draft. Austin Hedges is back. Let's see. I don't think we made any trades there. Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go to... And there are the 3 guys we lost in the expansion draft like we talked about last time. Hearn... we also lost Adonis Medina in the Rule 5 draft. 29 years old. Has had 3 good years in a row in AAA, but just never really made it onto our team. And then this was the big trade that we made with all minor leaguers. And then you'll notice this is sometimes something that I do, that I kind of trade quantity for quality. Now, I gave up a pretty good pitcher in this. Bradley Gagin, you saw I had that group of like 9 pitchers. It was a group of 10 pitchers. And Gagin was like the 8th or 9th best. He was rated in the top 150, 175 prospects, I think, in baseball. He was my first round pick, 29th overall in 2022. This is a good player that I gave up. But I don't think it's a great player. I mean, maybe he could become a great player, but he has not had a great minor league track record. But I think he's going to be a usable minor or major league player. I think he has the highest floor of everybody in this trade. But I think I got the guy with the highest ceiling, which I was interested in. I got 22-year-old minor league shortstop Caleb Ford from the Orioles, who this infield range is what drew me to him. Now, he's only got a 40 arm. So maybe that's going to hinder his ability to play shortstop, but I think he can play shortstop fine with that probably if I need him to. He can certainly play an amazing second base, and he can also play center field with a 70 outfield range. So I think I've got a guy who could be a lead at center, a lead at second, and I think good at short too. And he's possibly got really good power. OSA sees him as a 70 potential. My scout sees him as a 55. The only concerning thing here is this contact. He's going to start the year in high A as a 23-year-old. He's a little old. He was in rookie ball last year. He was drafted last year, put up a 133 WRC plus. He was the Orioles. He was the 7th overall pick in the 2025 draft. But I gave up a bunch of prospects for him who could end up being major league pieces, but I don't see as anything more than just kind of fringe guys. Marco Soto, 22 years old. He was an international free agent signed by the Phillies in real life, I guess, in 2021, and he's been totally fine for me, and he'll be an A-ball. Miles Jansen is a guy who's kind of climbed up my system, and he was in AA and AAA last year and was good in both. He'll start the year in AAA for the Orioles. He was also on my Orioles team last year, my fake O's team in the last out of the park. But I think this is another guy who's a major league pitcher, but not with a very high ceiling. So James Peyton Smith was my 3rd-round pick, I believe, in 2021. But he just didn't he just hasn't panned out, really. He's been an A-ball the last 3 years and just hasn't done anything. His control's been too bad. And so I don't really know that he's a major league player. He's going to be in high A for the Orioles. And then Kemp Alderman, a lot of teams were interested in. He's got 2 awesome pitches. He's got a good eye. He can play some first base. But he's extreme fly ball with bad movement, bad control. And he was in A-ball last year for me and did put up 1.2 WAR in just 8 starts, 39 innings with a 3.66 ERA, 2.72 FIP. But I'm fine with giving him up. I think Gagin and Jansen will probably pitch for them. I think Caleb Ford could possibly never make it to the majors, but I also think he could be an all-star player for me. So I just want to make this trade. I think it's more fun. I think he's the most fun player in the trade. So there's the Austin Slater contract. Oh, that's a 1-year, $4.2 million, $404,200,000 for Slater. So I think that was the last trade that I made. Let's see here. Yep. Cool. Yeah, that was the last trade that I made. So that's the team and the trades. Let's look at the player development system, which is now 2nd overall out of 32 teams. Of course, we've got Mike Anthony Valdez, 3rd best prospect in baseball. He did rip it up for us in high A. It's the first success he's had in the minors. He's going to start out at AA. He is 25, so he's probably ready for the show this year or next, if not now. Caleb Ford, we already talked about. Danny San Miguel, the international free agent from a few years ago, will be in rookie ball. Edwin Flores, still just 16. Nicholas Perez is the guy traded for Texas in 2023. He will start the year in AA after ending the year there. A pretty good season. We got Drew Romo, Hector Davila, we already talked about. Mick Abel, we already talked about. And Marco Pantoja, my 33rd overall pick, is in the 109th best prospect in baseball. He will start the year in low A. He just turned 23. So was it 109? Yeah. So I will, of course, do the prospects in more depth next time when I do the draft. I'll kind of review the prospects that I'm in control of. Let's also I can show you. So the Nationals made more moves. They're really trying to spend this Soto money that they didn't spend on Soto. They brought in Luis Castillo on a big deal. 4 years, $20.4 million per year. The last year's a team option. He's 33, though. And he's been pretty good for the Reds, though. I mean, he put up 3.6 WAR last year. The year before, he led the leagues in innings pitched, games started, and strikeouts. He's led the league in innings pitched and strikeouts 2 of the last 5 years. And then Real Muto did catch on somewhere with the Angels. Just a 1-year, $7.1 million deal. At 35, yeah, I mean, he's just... I mean... an 80 and a 77 WRC plus 2 of the last 3 years. Now, 2024 is a really good season for him. 5-year deal with the Phillies, and he put up a 101 WRC plus. For a catcher, you'll take that all day. League average bat when he's got, he's a Gold Glove caliber player. You can see he won many Gold Gloves, 23, 24. So he didn't win one in 25. Made 5 All-Star teams so far. He's been a Silver Slugger 3 times. And he was the World Series MVP in 2025, so a good send-off for JT, I would say. And I think that's kind of the end of it. I'll show you the number 1 prospect in baseball. Somebody asked about that at one point in a comment somewhere. Bryce Martin Grudzielanek. He was a 9th-round pick in 2021. I guess he was like 17 then because he's 22 now. And he spent 2025 between A and AA and then made it to the majors and got 28 plate appearances. Didn't do too well, but he's up with the Pirates this year, the number 1 prospect in baseball. So, and the rest of the top 10, the Pirates have a second top 10 guy, Rubel LeBron, also a second baseman. And so, yeah. So that's the end of the video. I will, of course, come back in July. Before I do the trade deadline and team update, I'll do the draft and the prospect overview. If there's anything you guys want to know about the rest of the offseason or the Phillies that I didn't cover, I think I covered everything I normally do. Just let me know. And we will see you guys in July of 2026. Bye.